Hi, I'm Phil Brock. I'm standing in beautiful Virginia Avenue Park in the Pico neighborhood of Santa Monica. This is Brock and Your Block, and I'm with, well, a legend in Santa Monica. You're?
James McPherson.
How long have you been living in Santa Monica?
All my life.
Now, you don't go by James, you're Mac.
Mac. Everybody knows
And
about
everyone in the
No.
city knows Mac.
Mac. Yes.
And so, how long have you been living here?
All my life. When I'm 79 years old. I'll be 80 in May 16th.
So you've been in the Pico neighborhood.
In the Pico neighborhood.
This is your hood.
This is my hood, right here.
And it's been your hood all your life.
All my life.
So I wanted to talk to you today because I know that you've spent so many years volunteering in our community, volunteering with sports, with athletics, and helping the young get better in their life. I've seen you volunteer for decades in this community. You worked with kids in
Little League. I started coaching when I got out of service in 1950. A friend of mine asked me, his father asked about why being interested in coaching. I said, it was fine. So when I went to coaching, at that time I thought people was really old. It was in their 50s. I was only 22 years old. So I went out and I coached for this gentleman, Mr. Tosa was his name. And the next year he retired. So I got a team. And I coached for 3 years. Well, the first 2 years we went 16-0. We didn't lose a ball game.
You should have retired then.
Should have retired then.
You got a winning record.
And the next year they voted me All-Star manager. We came down and we won the tournament. We came on and won the World Series right down here, and they played it down there on 16th Street. We played 9 games, only 4 runs was scored on. And that was my beginning. And then after that, I went to coaching Pony League. First I went down, started coaching down in Little League. I had a son. I coached down there with him, with Tony Todd.
Right.
And guys
One
like
of my ex-players.
Ex-players and
Boys Club kid, yeah.
Darren Willis and Junior Thurman and all those guys. Great athlete. Tony Phillips, great athlete. Went on not only play baseball, he was football player.
Right.
Football player. Also coached Pop Warner.
Oh, you did?
Coached Pop Warner, and we only 1 year there we coached. We won the championship. We played against Baldwin Hills. If they couldn't beat it, we beat them. We went into the...
So I always hear from Tony Todd, I hear from other people in the community that they revere you.
Yeah.
And that's a wonderful thing in this community. What have you learned? What did you take away from coaching? How was it good for you to volunteer?
Well, the kids always come up and tell me, what I did for them. I said, you don't understand. You did more for me than I've done for you. So I explained to them. I said, you worked hard. You did for what I told you to do. You learned the fundamental of the game. I couldn't have had a better group, What he did is something I always wanted to do, is to coach, teach. You just don't coach baseball, you have to teach baseball.
And by doing that, you're teaching life.
You're teaching life. Yeah. I teach life, And the team I had, this one kid who played against me, he said, I couldn't stand you guys. So I said, why? Because you guys were so uniform. You look and paying attention and everything. And you did everything right. This is what he told me. He said, when I went into the Marine, he says, I had a flashback. I said, what do you mean? He said, the same thing that you're teaching your little bit, that's what you did in the Marine. Yeah.
So now, you grew up here, you said your mother used to work at Douglas?
Used to work at Douglas.
During
World War II.
So she was one of Rosie's riveters.
Rose and Riveter. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
One of them, yes.
And I know you wanted to film here at Virginia Avenue Park, not just because it's in your neighborhood, but you have a long history with this park, and you stopped me at the Thelma Terry building right off the bat and said you wanted to talk about this lady and about what this park used to be before it was a park.
Exactly. Well, Mrs. Terry, she was what I've said, what my success was. And she was the most dynamic lady I ever known. She worked hard, and matter of fact, she would, like sometimes she didn't have, they didn't give her the supplies she did. She would reach in her purse and write and buy what we had, and then she would turn it in.
So for those of you who don't know, Thelma Terry worked for the city of Santa Monica for decades. She was the queen of Memorial Park, and she meant so much to this neighborhood too. Now, you were telling me that Nat Travis, former mayor, lived across the street here, that there was a basketball court, and this used to be part of Santa Monica College?
The Santa Monica College was all buildings here. And right as you go here, they had a big, something like a building there where they taught, they had classes and stuff. As you walk out, there was steps, you come in, it was a sidewalk, that ran there, and there's just a little bit of grass. And I'll never forget 3 palm trees, huge palm trees. And we used to play tackle football. You had to watch out for the trees,
Yeah, because, they would tackle you.
Oh, yeah, they would tackle
you.
They won.
So, this park, it's an improvement over what used to be here.
Oh, it's an improvement. Just think, we had this park when I was coming up. It just would be a dream that come true.
With the addition of the library here, the Thelma Terry Center, the Police Activities League unit over there, and the fact there's all this open space, and behind us, we're filming this right after school one day, and there are kids playing soccer out here. And this used to be a gang-infested area. This was a dangerous area you lived in.
Exactly. And like when I was coming up, believe it or not, we didn't even know what gangs were. Believe me. If I had a fight with you or whatever, it was just me and you. It wasn't like we had gangs. Regardless what nationality you were, you respect them. Their mother, you know what I mean?
What was interesting to me, you just hit on a point that I thought it struck me so much when growing up here. I was at the boys club growing up, and every nationality was represented, and we were all friends. And my quote-unquote homies, right, when I grew up here, were all races, all creeds, everything. We all played together, we worked together, and that, to me, was the essence of Santa Monica. You're saying your experience was the same.
Exactly the same.
I hope you've enjoyed part 1 of our interview with James Mac McPherson. Mac's a community legend in Santa Monica. We'll be back next week with part 2. For Brock and Your Block, I'm Phil Brock. Have a great day.